Hey everyone, Positron here with an update for April 2020. I haven't done one of these channel updates in a little while, and there's a number of things I need to talk about, so this is a good time of any to do an update. So I've been kind of talking about this a little bit on stream. I think I mentioned on Twitter at some point that I had some big changes coming up in terms of my real life, and I wanted to make sure that people were informed and updated and knew what was going on. So that big thing is that I'm moving, and I'm moving across states, moving quite a distance, which is something I've never done before. I've always lived here, and so it's been a bit of a hurdle to get all that going and keeping everything in line, especially with the current events at the time. It's been quite difficult. So you're wondering, perhaps, well, why am I moving? What is spurred on this change? Well, the reason for that is I'm actually going to be working at Epic Games. I had an opportunity to join the team. I'm going to be doing QA, and I'm pretty excited about it actually. One, because I think we all know my propensity for breaking things, but just, the opportunity to get a foot in the door at one of the biggest companies in the industry is really exciting. That's going to be happening. I'm going to be starting pretty much as soon as I move. It's something I'm looking forward to. Something that will probably be a little stressful as I get into the mix and get accustomed to everything that happens there and how things work, but a very, very exciting time, obviously. So what does this mean for content on the channel and things of that nature? First of all, I'm going to do my best to disclose whenever I cover something that might be on the Epic Games Store or something that Epic puts out themselves, disclose that, hey, I work there. Doesn't mean it necessarily influences my opinion or anything, but I want to make sure that disclosure is out there. I don't want to taint any of the content. That's never been an issue in the past. I always try to disclose that stuff, and I try to stay objective about anything I do. I'm going to make sure to keep everything even. So what does that mean for things currently running on the channel? Currently, Ori 2 has been running, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That will continue. I've actually finished recording it, so there should be no interruption. Now, that does mean that if you're leaving feedback or if there's something I've missed and you're trying to get me to find it, if I don't find it on my own, I'm probably not going to, and I apologize for that. I try not to keep a huge backlog. I usually try to keep it to a couple of videos at most because, I like getting people's feedback and making sure to check things they're interested in and stuff like that. But so this has been fully recorded. You'll be able to watch it every day as you have been. People seemed really excited about this one, so it's been a lot of fun to play. And I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the series. There's maybe 6 or 7 episodes left, something like that. So what about other things that have been on the channel? Crosscode. I have to apologize for this first and foremost. I just burned out on the game. It's a fantastic game, but we're on episodes like 60 something, and it's just been really tough to record. From terms of a puzzle perspective, it's a very, very challenging game. It's very long form. I find it's one of those things that's difficult for me to record a video that's less than maybe 30 or 40 minutes and make some real progress. So I absolutely would like to finish it at some point, but I'm going to say right now I don't have a time frame for that. It might be something where I do it in long form content. I do it on stream. I do it in hour-long videos, things like that. I'd like to finish it, not just for people that have been watching it, but for myself. It's a fun game. Got a lot of good stuff in it. And I know I'm probably about 3/4 the way through it, so it would be nice to finish that up. So what does this mean for Twitch? I've been streaming every Wednesday, and some of you have come out to hang out and chit chat. We've been doing a co-op stream for a couple of years at least now. That's been a lot of fun. So if you're interested in seeing me stream, I always stream at Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That, for the foreseeable future, I'm going to try to keep doing. It won't be happening next week, but in general, I would like to keep doing that. We are in a bit of an odd spot now in terms of what we're going to play. We've been playing some demos and things like that, trying out new games, which I'm going to have the VODs up for pretty soon. So if you've got any suggestions of what we might play, a lot of the things we play tend to be co-op games, action-adventure games. We played through Dark Souls series and things like that. We were thinking about maybe doing Code Vein. I actually just saw that there's new DLC out for Code Vein, so maybe it's a good time to jump into that. So what's next for YouTube? What's next for the channel in terms of new series and things like that? Again, I'm going to try to keep up videos, but I will say right now, if there is a gap, I apologize. Big life changes. I might need a few days where I'm just not going to be able to record, things like that. I'm going to take that time to make sure that everything is in order and actual professional life is settled and secure. I'll do my best to keep the videos coming until then because I just enjoy doing it. It's a good way to relax. I love, getting through these games with you guys. I would like to continue that as much as possible. So what are we going to play? I just don't know yet. So I have a few ideas of things that are coming up that I would potentially like to play, or I will be playing, at least off camera. One of them is a little oddball for the channel. The Resident Evil 3 remake is coming out pretty soon. In terms of YouTube, I think it comes out right around the time that I'm finishing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Now, that's going to be difficult for me to record immediately in terms of moving and things like that. I did Resident Evil 1 on the channel a while back. Resident Evil 3 is a game that I enjoyed as a classic game. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. If it's not, that's fine too. I know it's kind of an oddball for the channel, so we'll see about that one. Another one is the Trials of Mana remake is actually coming out, I think closer towards the end of April, and that one's something I'm really excited about. That is, in case you're unfamiliar with it, Secret of Mana was on Super Nintendo, and the sequel to it, Seiken Densetsu 3, never actually came to the US. It was recently officially translated. There was a fan translation for a while. Recently officially translated, and the Collection of Mana was brought to Switch. And now Trials of Mana is getting a full remake as well. So it follows along with the original game, but it's a full 3D remake. And I played the demo and it's pretty fun. So that's something I'll definitely be playing. If it's something that people think is a good fit for the channel, I'd love to play it on the channel as well. And of course, there's always retro games as well. More often than not, even in my own time, when there's, I'm in between games or something, I usually fall back to some retro games. So maybe there's some games on Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Genesis that you might be interested in seeing, and maybe there's something there I can play through. It'd be a lot of fun. We've done some recent ones. We did Ignition Factor. We did the translation for what was essentially Mystical Ninja 2. There are maybe some others that I've been thinking about maybe doing. One of the ones I've actually always wanted to go back to was 7th Saga, but that's a really long game and brutally difficult unless you use one of the fan patches, so I don't know about that. But yeah, if you got any suggestions, by all means. And that goes for things in general. If you've got suggestions for the channel, if you've got suggestions for me to play, don't take offense if you suggest something and it's not something that I end up playing. I really do appreciate it. Sometimes they're just not a good fit. And sometimes it helps me discover games that I wouldn't have known about. There were a couple examples recently where someone suggested a game to keep an eye out on that's coming out soon or coming out in the near future that I would not have known about. And it's awesome to find new games and things like that, especially stuff that I know people are excited about seeing. So yeah, I think that wraps things up. Again, as a quick refresher, I'm going to be moving. Ori and the Will of the Wisps will continue, and I will do my best to try to get videos up pretty much every day throughout the move and all that. And I will be starting a new job. We'll be working at Epic Games, which I'm pretty excited about. And yeah, thanks again for all the support and all the comments and everything. I try to check comments at least a couple of times a day. It's always blasting what everyone has to say. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.